Alice, have you got a minute?
Sure, I'm just on my lunch break, so I can talk for a bit?
You were actually able to get a decent lunch break today? It seems like you're always strapped for time when it comes to lunch. It must be my lucky day.
I just wrapped up a big report, so I ended up with a bit of extra break time today, thankfully. So what's up? Is something going on?
Well, the thing is, I got a call from my mom earlier.
Was she going on again about how you and I are both working?
Yeah, you know how she is. Yeah, she was asking about how we ever find time to spend together as a couple when we're both always so busy with our work. Then she started muttering about how there's no reason for both of us to be working if we can get by on just one salary. I just wanted to let you know.
I see. Sorry you're always getting caught in the middle like this.
Well, she's my mom. It makes sense that I'm the one who has to put up with her nagging. It's a good thing you didn't give her your WhatsApp info. I can only imagine what you'd have to put up with if she were in your contacts. She hardly ever gives me a break as it is.
Yeah, true. We did exchange phone numbers a while ago, but she's never called me for some reason. But I feel sorry for you having to play the messenger all the time. I'm sure it's no fun trying to convince her on my behalf.
No, don't be sorry. I feel like I'm the one who ought to apologize. These days, it just makes sense for both people in a marriage to be working full-time jobs. The economy just isn't the same as it was back in her day. My mom's so old-fashioned. She still thinks women should stay home and mind the house while their husbands put food on the table. Talk about overly traditional.
Don't you think I should just talk to her directly? Maybe she'd see things differently hearing it from me.
Nah, I don't think that's a good idea. Things might get even more complicated if you did. She can be pretty stubborn. It'd be a burden on you too, wouldn't it? You're already so wrapped up with work. I wouldn't want you having this weighing down on you too.
Well, if she has something she wants to say to me, I think it'd be best to hear it straight from her, rather than having it to go through you. I have my own thoughts I'd like to make clear to her as well. Isn't there a way we can talk it out, like woman to woman?
I think the fact that she hasn't called you yet shows that she's still worried about it. If she just accepts us the way that we are, this would all be settled. That's why my conversation with her ended up being about our work. I brought it up because I just wanted her to relax already.
That makes sense. But it feels like there's nothing I can do when I'm just left on the sidelines like this. Since it's about our marriage, I'd rather we both be equally involved. I'm not going to be quitting my job either way. I've already put so much effort into it, there's no way I'd throw it all away to be a housewife.
Of course not. Like I said, we're just doing fine the way we are. I'm happy, you're happy, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have brought this up after all. I feel like I ruined your lunch break.
No, please don't apologize. I'm glad you can tell me these things. I prefer to know when other people are talking about me. It can be shocking when you suddenly find out you're being talked about behind your back. So I'm really glad you don't hide this stuff from me, Tom. If you did hide it, I'd be upset that you hadn't been straightforward with me in the first place, you know?
Yeah, it can feel pretty awful when you find out your name's been on other people's lips without even knowing about it. Man, I hope my mom cuts us a break sooner or later.
I'm sure she will. I'll keep doing my very best for both our sakes. I'll be sure not to slack on my work or on managing the house.
Hold on now, we're both working, so there's no need for you to handle all the housekeeping duties. You said yourself you're not going to be a housewife, right? We'll split the housework in half and prove to her that our way of living is totally valid. I can do my share of cooking and cleaning.
Yeah. Next time she comes over to visit, we'll have to give her the 5-star treatment. I want her to see that even if I leave things to you, there's nothing she needs to worry about.
And here I thought I was already doing my best. Guess I'll have to step up my game.
I just want your mom to approve of us. I mean, she's your mom after all.
Thanks, Alice. But don't take things too far, okay?
Yep, no worries. I'll do the best I can within my own limits.
By the way, I'll be late getting home today.
Oh, I see. How about dinner? Will you need anything? It's no trouble.
Nah, I'll just pick something up on the way home. So don't worry about making anything for me.
Okay, if you say so. It's been getting colder outside, though. Be careful on your way back. The last thing we need right now is you catching a cold or something.
Gotcha, you take care too, Alice. Be sure to bundle up. Well, I'd better get back to work. I'll talk to you later.
Hey, Tom, what time do you think you'll be getting home today?
Maybe around 7 p.m.? Hopefully, at least.
Wow, really? Even though they called you in on your day off? That's pretty rough.
I figure since I'm here anyway, I might as well give it everything I've got. I won't be able to relax at home if I leave things half-finished.
Well, alright then. Let me know when you're on your way home, though. There's some stuff I want to talk with you about.
Well, what kind of stuff?
We'll talk about it when you get home.
Now you've got me worried. Just tell me what's on your mind, please.
I've just been thinking more about the both of us working full-time jobs.
Because our dinner plans with Mom for today ended up getting canceled?
Yeah, it just got me thinking. Your mom's always had a lot to say about how we're both working. But this is the first time she's ever turned us down for dinner, you know?
I'm sure she has her reasons. Maybe something came up out of the blue. She's got her own life to live as well. I wouldn't worry about it too much if I were you. We'll just have her over for dinner another time. Besides, this way I was able to get some more work done, so it all worked out pretty nicely.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know, though. If I just quit my job, we wouldn't have to worry about this anymore. She'd lay off and we could still get by just fine on your salary.
But wouldn't that mean giving up some of your own happiness? You like your job, don't you? I thought you said before that you didn't want to be a housewife. Would you really be okay living like that?
Well, lately I've been thinking that it'll be harder to balance my work and home life once we have kids. And I figure that if I was going to end up quitting anyway, I might as well try to get used to the whole housewife thing sooner rather than later.
Didn't you just get a big promotion not too long ago? Why would you be thinking about quitting so soon after that?
Well, that's true, I guess.
You don't have to force yourself to do anything you don't want to do, especially not for my sake. Your happiness is the most important thing in the world to me, Alice.
Sure, but family issues are important too, aren't they? If your mom has a problem with me, that obviously isn't something I can just ignore and go on living with. She seemed so happy when we first got married. I really thought she liked me. I just feel like her refusing to come to dinner is her way of expressing some kind of disapproval or something.
I'm telling you, you're totally overthinking this. You really shouldn't worry about it. She probably just had some unexpected business to attend to. Forget about it.
But I've been thinking that she kind of has a point. You and I really haven't had that much time to ourselves lately, you know? We've both been so busy with work, it feels like we hardly see each other. If I were to quit my job, that'd give us more opportunities to spend more time together. We could go on dates and stuff, like back when we first started going out.
I'd still be working, so I wouldn't have any more free time either way. My work's always so intense, and you always do your best to get home on time. If anything, I should be the one trying to free up more time for you. You haven't been doing anything wrong, Alice. I really mean it. So please, don't worry about a thing. Everything will be totally fine.
If you say so.
I know so. Trust me. You just keep on living the way you do. Your happiness always comes first.
Are you really sure?
Yes, I'm absolutely positive. Sure, I'd be happy if Mom could accept the way that we do things, too. But I don't think marriage is any reason for someone to completely change their entire way of life. That's just totally unreasonable.
I guess so.
I told you, you have nothing to worry about. You're perfect just the way you are.
Well, okay then. Thanks. I think a bit more about what to do about my job. Sorry to bug you about this while you're at work. Thanks for talking to me, though.
No problem, sweetie. I'll see you tonight, okay?
Okay, talk to you later. Good luck with work.
Hello, is this Alice? This is Tom's mother.
Excuse me? You're Tom's mom?
I got your contact info from Tom. I'd like to speak with you.
Oh, really? Sorry to ask this, but are you really his mom?
That's what I said, isn't it? Who else do you think I could possibly be? If I were some stranger, I wouldn't have known Tom's name, let alone that you were married, right? That should be proof enough.
Well, I guess that's true. So, what did you want? Can I help you with something?
I should think that you already have a good idea of what I want to talk to you about, don't you?
Is it about how Tom and I are both still working full-time jobs as a married couple?
Yes, exactly that. It seems no matter how many times I raise the issue, you never take my concerns seriously. My son told me he doesn't think you're good wife material. He's tired of you spending all your time working.
Excuse me? Are you serious?
It seems like you weren't getting the hint, so I decided that I'd better contact you directly and tell it to you straight. You'd best start looking into a divorce as soon as possible, dear. There is no fixing this, I'm afraid. Women who stubbornly cling to their jobs are simply no good for my darling boy. It's my understanding that you've been quite selfish in continuing with your work, neglecting your responsibilities as a wife in the process. He doesn't want anything more to do with you, so you'd best speak to a lawyer as soon as possible.
Hello, who is this? This is Tom's mother speaking. Who do you think you are, impersonating me? I'll have you know identity theft is illegal.
What are you talking about, Alice dear? Please stop this meaningless tomfoolery. You won't fool me so easily.
You're the one who'd better stop fooling around. I can see right through you. Alice just showed me her phone with this chat open. I asked to take over, so this is Tom's mother, Heather, speaking. I find it hard to believe that your name happens to be Heather as well.
What is this?
I'm asking the questions here. What exactly is your game? Why are you impersonating me and bothering Alice? I'm sitting next to her right now. Whoever you are, you certainly aren't me. If you don't believe me, we can have a voice call and I'll prove it to you. Will that be necessary?
But that doesn't make sense. Tom told me that Alice was out in town meeting one of her friends for lunch today. You're the one doing the deceiving here. Please drop the act already, Alice. You can't fool me.
Oh, I get it now. That's you, isn't it, Tom?
I beg your pardon?
That's the only way you'd know Alice was out of the house right now. Or perhaps this is Tom's mistress I'm speaking to. I know there's a girl that works in his office that he's been secretly seeing recently. This account belongs to her, doesn't it?
I have absolutely no idea what on earth you're talking about.
That's enough, Tom. You're not fooling anyone. I arranged for Alice and I to meet in person today. Obviously, I asked her to keep it a secret from you. That's why she told you that she was going out to meet with a friend. She knew you'd just get suspicious if she just left the house without saying anything. So you're the only person who would have been under the impression that was what she was doing, Tom. We've caught you red-handed. Stop pretending to be me and own up to your mistakes.
Alice and I aren't close at all. I'd never ask her to come out and meet with me on her own. What you're saying simply doesn't make any sense.
I can see why you'd think that when we only ever shared our phone numbers with each other. It's true that we don't regularly keep in touch. I haven't spoken to her at all recently. That's what gave you the idea to use me to get her to divorce you, isn't it?
I'm not sure I follow.
Oh, stop playing dumb, Tom. I've got you figured out. I called Alice out today so that I could tell her the truth about your philandering. You've been spending a lot of time at one of those hourly motels out near the suburbs, haven't you? I've actually been working there myself as part of the housekeeping staff.
Wait, what?
So stop sneaking around and come clean. You aren't fooling anyone, Tom. Are you still there, Tom? You can't run from this, Tom. It's time to give up. Don't ignore me. Respond.
I'm really sorry, Alice. I've been doing a lot of thinking lately. I'm really, honestly, sincerely sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I really messed up.
If you really want to show how sorry you are, then sign the divorce and alimony papers. Then we can both put this all behind us and move on with our lives.
I know I said this to you already, but I'll repeat it here. I don't want us to split up.
Are you kidding right now? You're the one who tried to get me to divorce you in the first place. What's with the sudden change of heart?
I've been reflecting a lot these last few days, and I realized what a total jerk I've been to you. I can hardly express how sorry I am. I really want to patch things up between us. Please, just give me another chance. I promise I'll never hurt you again. We haven't even been married for a year yet. It's way too soon to divorce. I don't want things to just end like this.
How can you see that when you started cheating on me less than a year into our marriage? You even went as far as to start planning on divorcing me so that you could run off and remarry with your little girlfriend? On top of that, you impersonated your own mother to try to pressure me into divorcing you. Who even does that? How on earth do you think we could possibly patch things up? You've already completely crushed our marriage to dust. There is no coming back from this.
I know I've been incredibly stupid and selfish too.
You certainly have. That's why you use such an indirect method in the first place, isn't it? If I was the one that divorced you because your mom told me to, you wouldn't bear any of the blame, right? You'd come out looking like the victim, if anything. She never had a problem with me working at all, did she? You made that all up.
Yeah, I did.
And the real reason she couldn't come over to dinner that we planned was because she'd just learned that you were having an affair. When she found out, she was totally overcome with shock. It's no wonder she wasn't able to have dinner with us. I'm sure she could barely speak, let alone carry a conversation.
I don't know what to say. I'm so sorry. I feel awful about all of this.
I can't believe you were so stupid that you brought your girlfriend to the same motel where your mom works.
I don't know she worked there. I thought she was retired, but apparently she started working a part-time job recently.
Well, I guess if she was working at a seedy place like that, she wouldn't want to tell you about it. But really, I owe her a huge thank you. If it weren't for her, I'd still be agonizing over whether or not to keep my job. Completely oblivious to your ongoing cheating.
Oh, hang on. I've already broken things off with that girl completely. We're through.
Don't you mean she broke things off with you? You were both caught cheating on your spouses, after all. I heard she had some troubles with her marriage as well, didn't she? You have been trying to get her to leave her husband too, if I'm not mistaken?
We both got a little in over our heads, being in that kind of forbidden relationship. At first, I had thought that it would only be a temporary thing. Once I was pulled back to reality, I realized what a complete idiot I had been.
You'd do something that would hurt me that much as only a temporary thing? You even made up this whole problem about my work, which caused me a ton of stress. Seriously, what is your problem? You're the worst.
I'm really sorry about all of this. I know I don't deserve anything.
Enough of the sympathetic act. I am not buying it. You went out of your way to fabricate this whole mother-daughter-in-law conflict. For what? Your own amusement? You knew how much I valued my work, so you figured that was the angle to go for. Is that it?
Well, there really isn't anything else I could have faulted you for, Alice.
If there wasn't anything wrong with me, you wouldn't have cheated in the first place, would you? Just tell it to me straight. What exactly is your problem with me? What made you want to cheat?
I don't have any problems with you, honest. A wife like you is totally wasted on a scummy guy like me. I just ended up getting totally caught in the middle of this whole infidelity thing. I must have gone a little crazy or something. But I've come back to my senses. I realize now that you're the one and only person in the world for me, Alice.
Look, I don't really care if you keep seeing that woman or not. I'm going to be divorcing you either way.
Look, I'm telling you, I don't want a divorce. You're the only one I love, Alice, more than anything in the whole world. Please, take me back.
How dare you say that after cheating on me so blatantly? You really are the worst. Don't ever say that kind of phony junk to me again. I know the real reason you don't want to get a divorce. It's because if we do, you'll have to pay alimony to me. I know you've hardly got any savings, so you'll probably have to take out a pretty big loan for it.
You're totally wrong.
Oh, really? Pay up then, right now. The full amount in one big payment.
Ugh, look, I just don't really want to split up with you.
No, you don't want to split up with me now that you've been caught and have to own up to your actions. You literally said we should get divorced when you were pretending to be your mom.
I wasn't thinking clearly.
Don't think us staying married will magically make all of this smooth over. You've seriously hurt my feelings and my pride as a woman. Quit trying to dodge the responsibility to own up to that. This is all your fault.
I promise, I'll make it up to you somehow. I'll give you whatever money you want, so please, please don't dump me.
You've got to be joking. You're the one who tried to throw me to the curb in the first place. All I'm doing is giving you what you wanted. You wanted me to divorce you, and now I am. Your mom said I should as well, so I'm just following her advice. The divorce process was long and difficult, but Tom's mother eventually hired a detective for me. He was able to gather up some undeniable evidence of Tom's cheating, and our divorce was finalized at last. The woman from Tom's workplace that he'd been seeing ended up quitting her job and moving back in with her parents. Sounds like she hasn't divorced her husband yet, but he's already started planning to as well. I heard that they're going through the arbitration process right now. We'd been married for less than a year, so there wasn't very much to divide in terms of assets. After his mistress quit her job, rumors about her and my ex-husband's affairs started swirling around his workplace. It sounds like he's been living a life of shame ever since. He's always seemed like such a mild-mannered guy. It must have come as a huge surprise to everyone in his office. Seeing my husband's nice guy facade slip away was actually kind of refreshing, somehow. Now he'll just have to live with his regrets, slowly paying off the debt that he was left with after paying his alimony. After our divorce, I was a little depressed for a while, wondering what was even the point of getting married if it was just going to end like this. But I quickly realized that it was good that I had learned what a scumbag my husband was so early, before I had devoted years or even decades of my life to our marriage. My relationship with my former mother-in-law was fairly thin, but I'm very grateful to her for telling me so much and making me think about things I hadn't considered before. Now that I'm divorced, she isn't legally related to me anymore, but even so, I still get together with her sometimes for coffee, and we've ended up becoming better friends than we ever were when I was married to her son. I'm glad that I've been able to foster a friendship with such an understanding older woman. I've resolved to leave behind all the memories of my loser ex-husband and get back to living for myself.